number 9, Eric Buchanan for discussion on the wheel tax.
Yes, so this isn't one of those things that has to have the action today, but we definitely need to be thinking about it and having some action here moving forward. So our debt service for the highway, that is about to expire at the end of this fiscal year. And you cannot put money into a debt service with no active debt to pay out of it. So we have a situation where we figure out what we're going to do with those funds. My recommendation to you all would be to take the same exact amount of money that is going into highway debt service and put it into highway capital projects. That way it's not legally binding, like if you have it in 131, which will be calculated in your 5-year running average. However, you create an opportunity to buy highway equipment in the future with cash and saving the county money. Quite often we talk about debt, wanting to get rid of debt. This is an opportunity to pay for things in cash and not have to finance in the future. It's my understanding that Mr. Jones has a pretty aging fleet of equipment, and this would be an opportunity to take the existing money we have and parlay that into newer equipment without having any additional burden. So my recommendation is to move forward with that, but open for any questions you all may have on the matter.
I just want to clarify and put it in layman's terms. When you say debt service for the highway debt service will expire, we are paying off debt.
Yes, sir.
We are getting, listen, out of debt for something. Right there.
Say it again, please.
Say it for those in the back.
How much
Yeah,
debt was that? And what the number looking at? You said we're getting ready to expire.
The original debt, I'd have to look it up to tell you, but what you're talking about is he's 1/3 of the original 20. So what was that, 6 and some change? So you're talking about, on the wheel tax itself, about $6. But for the sake of the county, you're talking about over 300,000. And so for 300,000 annually, you can make quite an impact. And I used equipment for an example. It doesn't have to be just equipment. I mean, it's a highway capital projects fund. It can be used for roads, for paving, for equipment, for anything highway related. If you put it in a highway capital projects fund, which we just recently established. Also keeping in mind, we have so many bridges that are on that list for repair. So it's another avenue to help fund that as well.
So you're saying there's 300,000 will be rolling over into?
Roughly, yeah. I think it's closer to 345, but I was being conservative.
That's an annual?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Anything else on that, Mr. Buchanan?
Not unless you all have any questions.
For you, so we talked about the wheel tax. If we decided to address the tax issue, we couldn't do anything this year anyway. It'd have to be next budget year before we.
Well, I think, and you'll have to, I think I can try to answer this.
Okay.
So if the debt service for the highway department were to expire and we're still collecting those funds would have to be allocated somewhere where they could legally sit. They'd have to go somewhere. We couldn't continue to put them in a debt service fund where the debt has
But
expired.
we couldn't change the tax rate until next budget.
No, you couldn't change it. You couldn't do anything with the tax rate.
Correct. That final payment is in May. But the reason I bring it up to you today is, one, for discussion purposes, but two, any reallocation, any change to the wheel tax, privilege tax, is a 2/3 vote in 2 consecutive meetings. So although it seems quite a ways away, it's really not that far away. And it's going to take pretty unanimous support from the commission on a vision for what to do with the funds. So if we don't have that, and we debate that and have some failed votes or whatnot, just trying to plan ahead and make sure we have ample time to get this thing resolved.
Also, if I might add to that, if there is any change to the wheel tax, I would need probably at least 2 months to get any changes made through the state to alter our renewals that come out and all that stuff.
If the dollar figure changes.
Yes.
Not if we just reallocate the
No,
funds for an
correct.
additional purpose, but if the dollar amount changes. Just want
All right.
Do you know how much $340,000, how much that would impact the wheel tax?
roughly the $6.
$6, okay.
6 and some change.
And we can mix and match that however we choose fit when that time comes, couldn't we?
Well, I don't know. So you'd have to go back to the resolution for the original $20, I would imagine, and look to see how it was allocated. Would we have to undo anything out of that original resolution? Because it was, if I remember right, it was allocated to Cherokee and Volunteer back then, wasn't it?
I don't
And,
know the set purpose for the schools, but the original 20 was allocated 1/3 for general fund, 1/3 for highway debt service, 1/3 for education debt service. The 1/3 education debt service would not be changed. The 1/3 general fund would not be changed. We would just be referencing the highway debt service, special debt service fund 154. But yes, all the more reason to get on that earlier so that we can come up with a plan, propose it, make sure that it's in agreement with audit, make sure it's in agreement with legal, and move forward.
I mean, I don't know that we have to take action on it today, but it's definitely something we're going to take action on fairly soon. So
Correct.
be thinking about, asking your constituents about how to proceed. Okay, anything else on wheel tax?